Good morning, and I'm back for another update. I took a day break because my wife's birthday was yesterday, and we celebrated, so I didn't do any streams. But I did have a really big 24 hours from the 14th through the 15th, which I made $411 within a 24-hour span of time. So one of my best days in a while. And it's pushed my profits into a good amount for this week. As you can see, 3.17%, $646. So that is a better than average week. The maximum that I usually try to shoot for is about $1,000 a week, but with this risk level. But that's usually the best results that I can get. So $650 is still above average. So I'm very happy with that. Now Robert's account, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick, but Robert's account is doing well too, but it's only 2 closed baskets for this week instead of 3 like I've had. And it's because I did a manual trade, basket trade as well on my account, giving me a bit more profit, especially in that 24 hours that I talked about with the $411 profit. So Robert still has a trade open, but he's still been having a pretty good week at $395. It's still only Thursday, and that's what his account looks like. He's still got a trade in, and you can see where the entry was. It's right down in here. The trade closed out, or the basket of trades closed out, and then another trade was entered right after. So you have the first entry from the inside candle previously, and then these 1, 2, 3, and 4 orders were entered, closed out for profit here with the help of the pound in that same period. Oh, I'm messing up my... There we go. So the pound entered trades at the same time that I was in on those 4 trades on the Aussie CAD, and got some really good movement on the pound CAD, pushing the profit in on the odd CAD. Didn't need as much of a pullback basically. So that's why the trades closed out when they did, is because the needed amount of profit was given on the pound CAD. So what that gave us is an exit on basically on a entry candle for another signal. So another trade was entered, and it did push up, almost hit profit, not quite, hit the round number at 0.97, and then pulled back a bit. So it's been kind of bouncing around a little bit. I actually considered closing it out near that round number, expecting some resistance up there. Okay, so good profit this week. I'm gonna cough again. Good profit this week, but 1 extra trade on my account. So I'm going to talk about that now. So the trade looks like this, 4 trades, and these were manual trades. And this is the expert advisor trade, so this trade was an expert advisor position, and it was a little bit interesting because I had 4 manual trades in, and then the EA enters a trade. I was like, oh great, so I might have a conflict here. Ended up working out pretty well, so I worked with it, and I'm going to show you the entries. I liked this area for a manual setup because it was an inside candle right up at some good resistance. I liked it right here, and I expected a 20 pip or so pullback. It didn't happen. It actually shot straight up right after my entry. So here's what it looks like on the 15-minute chart. There was absolutely no pullback. And you know, sometimes that just works like that, where you think that something's going to happen, and it's a good setup. It's the reason why I took it in the first place. And it shot up. What can you do? So I use the Trader Agent software, which you see here. I like the software a lot because it means that you don't have to stay and babysit your trades as much, and it allows you to grid trade. Now, it doesn't allow you to grid trade like my RMI does, which has a filter where it only enters maximum one trade per bar. So I will enter multiple trades per bar, which is a little bit more risky, but I expected not a lot of additional pullback here, and it didn't have a lot more, but it did eventually pull back, and I did close out the trades. But order 1, order 2, order 3, and order 4 were all on a 20 pip grid, and I would have entered a little bit better if I was babysitting this trade, but I was not. Order 1 is fine. Order 2 would have been right about where 20 pips was, because the inside candle set up on the 15-minute. And then order 3 for me would have been the third inside candle, or the second inside candle here, right at the top. So I would have had 3 orders in instead of 4. But it's not a big deal, because the fourth order actually was able to once the pullback happened, I was able to get out earlier because of this particular order. And as you can see here, it was one of the 2 that closed in profit. Alright, so the Expert Advisor trade, which was right here, made things a little bit more interesting, because these 4 orders, manual orders, I was looking for only 20 pips profit, which was about $130 on my account. But since this trade was added, I decided to extend my profit to 200, and so making it a standard basket. So my Expert Advisor does take typical baskets profit sizes of about $200, and so I kind of I worked with that and ended up taking $200 profit here. And that was what really made my big day. Expert Advisor closed out trades earlier that day, or earlier on the 14th, on the odd CAD. And I don't think I have all the trades loaded up on the pound CAD here. Yes, there it is. So this is the trades that closed out on the 14th as well, that I mentioned in my last video. The really clean trades that I talked about, and then the basket right after that. So all that happened within a 24-hour span of time, and which gave me such a great trading day. Alright, so it was a combination of the Expert Advisor and my manual trades, and these trades, these 4 trades that I did manually, were much better risk this time around. They weren't 1 and 2 lots, they were actually just each 0.62%. Now I know that the 0.62 is kind of an odd number. I was going to do 0.60, but for some reason I went with 6.2. So anyways, not a big deal, but I just kept the same risk size for each trade. But it made a lot more sense on my account, and it's probably something that I'm going to keep closer to in the near future. Alright, so that pretty much covers the trades that I have done this week, and the big day, and I may pick some other manual setups if I like the way they look. This one didn't work out so well, but it was only a basket of 4 trades manually with an added Expert Advisor one. But it did work out very well. Now Robert's still in trade, and I'm just going to let that one coast out. But I don't see any opportunities yet today. But I'm looking at the current price on the pound CAD, and I'm seeing some resistance up at this area. So I could enter some more manual trades. We'll just have to wait and see. So I wanted to cover a couple other things today, and one of them being getting some questions regarding Expert Advisors. A lot of traders don't really know what they are, and since they've been watching my videos, kind of been introducing them to people to what Expert Advisors can do, since I use one and it pretty much does most of my trading for me. So how do you get one made? Well, in my previous videos I've talked about going to mql5.com and using that website to hire a programmer to create an expert advisor for you. That's typically the easiest way, but it does cost excuse me, it does cost some money to do that. So there's a couple of other ways that you can do it. One of them is going to FX Pro Quant, or Quant, and this is through the broker FX Pro, and they have a free piece of software that allows you to basically create your own expert advisor. But it's a little bit tricky because a lot of the tutorials and videos that you can find on YouTube are a little old, and the software has been updated. Some of the functions are not quite the same as they are shown in the tutorial videos. So they kind of need to update their tutorial videos to better describe how to do the functions of the software. So it's very elite. I think that this software is probably the best and the most elite for creating a very detailed expert advisor. But there's also another option, and this is called eabuilder.com. And now these options are for people that don't know how to code, because as a creator for an expert advisor, you understand that you need to know how to code, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. And so some individuals or companies have created software that allows you to create your own expert advisor without needing to code. And these two companies, well, FX Pro, ProQuant and eabuilder.com, are two websites that I've found that allow you to do that. I've used eabuilder.com, and they do cost. It's $100, unfortunately, to get involved, but I think it's a one-time thing. And I believe you can try out their software for free as well. But if you want to get more options, I think you do have to pay. But so far I've used them, and I have created a couple of expert advisors that work very well. I still have yet to create something that works correctly at FX Pro Quant. So try your luck with that. See what you can find out. I've heard some people that are using this software with good success. Or you can check out what I'm using, and that's the eabuilder.com. Now, I didn't actually build my my RMI expert advisor with this software. I actually hired a program to do it because my expert advisor has a lot of complexities in it, and needed a top-end programmer to build that for me. Alright, so those are two places. I suggest you check them out if you want to a more inexpensive way of creating a piece of software. But most expert advisors will cost you, even if it's a pretty complicated one, I would say that you'd probably be able to get a program for $30 to maybe $50. So I recommend checking that out. I also wanted to follow up on a couple of expert advisors. Now, you guys know that I've been talking about, or have talked about in the last few months, Happy Forex version 2. I think it's 2.2 now. Happy Forex I recommended a lot because it was a very solid, long-term expert advisor, and it shows lots of previous years of history on my FX book with a very good equity and balance curve. Now, the gains were not very high. They're in the 0.5 to around 3% area. But what happened here? What's with this big leap? Well, this expert advisor is no longer on my track list because there has been a little bit manipulation going on here on the FX page by, I believe, by the creator of Happy Forex, trying to make the expert advisor look better than it really is right now. And I don't like when creators of software, especially paid software, do that kind of stuff. When you clearly look at the results and you see that the EA had a 16.26% loss. And these trades that caused the loss were in for almost, I think, over 2 months. So just not really good to lose that much percent after such small gains. So this expert advisor is no longer good, but it's interesting that something can be going well for so long and then all of a sudden just have a really poor week. So it's important to really build your own strategy. Retail EAs are really hard to tell if they're going to work in the longer term. At least if you have a loss on your own software or your own trading method, you know why it happened. But with using a retail software, you a lot of times won't really know why something happened or why you had a loss. And that's just not really fair. So I actually was sent a couple of other retail expert advisors, and this one's from Fluid Trader. And if you go to fluidtrader.com, you'll see that it's very standardized retail page where they have all these pictures showing you all the gains and how great it is and why it's different, and you know, it's not different than any other sales page out there. If you go to the stats, you'll see that, well, they're pretty good. It's been going for, I mean, the original version has been going for quite a long time. 361%, 35% drawdown, which is a little high but manageable. But the gains are really high. At 16, 10, 10% back in November, just this month. Also, Fluid Trader 1 account, which is a fairly new account, but this one's been going since June of 2017. Still, big gains. 16, 22, 22, 19, and 21% drawdown. But I looked at the sales page, and you know, tried to look past a lot of the overrated jargon, and noticed one thing that gave me red flags. Was the backtests. You know, this website might have been up for a while, but why would you do a backtest from July 6th, 2015 to July 6th, 2017? Why pick those dates? Why not go all the way back to as far as you can go in the history? So like 2010 or the year 2000. Because the longer the strategy has worked for, you know, many years, I feel like the better and more solid it is to adapt to future price action. 2 years is not enough time to give you a good assessment on how well a strategy will work. Because 2 years of time in trading is so small that you won't know if the strategy will work in 2018 or 2019. But if a strategy has worked from 2010 to 2017, that's 7 years. That's a better assessment of how a strategy can work over a long period of time. 2 years is just not enough time. I would say that 5 years is maybe the minimum, but still, I like a strategy that actually has worked just after the recession or even before, because then it shows me that a strategy can really work during a very difficult time, especially if it's using a US dollar pair. So yeah, red flag to me that the strategy showing back tests of only 2 years, but still a very good expert advisor from what I can see, and it's working well at this moment. So I mean, I allow you guys to check it out on your own, but I'm not making any commission. I'm not affiliated with any of these websites. I don't even know how much this software costs. Oh, it's really expensive. So I guess that's $347. I'm not really sure if it's worth it, honestly, unless he does offer money back. But who knows if he or she will even give it to you. All right, so there's also another expert advisor. I don't know if I can find it that I've been looking at. And this one is from FeJordorForex.de, and well, this one is a little bit more interesting because it is, when you go to the website, it's German. It's a German website, and so you have to do Google Translate to really understand what's going on here. So this expert advisor you can't actually buy. You can only do copy trades from Signal Start or Simple Trader. So if you actually go to Signal Start, you can see that this is looks like a pretty decent expert advisor. Yes, they had a big drawdown period right there, or a loss. But if I looked at the stats right, that's only a 5% loss, and the expert advisor was able to make it back pretty quickly. Now the drawdown is what's huge here. The drawdown is only 2.05%. And the gain's pretty substantial, but it's because it's over a longer period of time. Now, why is this expert advisor better than the other one I just showed that has 15 to 20% gains? It's because it only shoots for about 1% per month, or not even 1%. It shoots for a much lower gain per month. And this actual count here on Signal Start is actually showing a lot more profit than that MyFX book is. You can see that MyFX book is showing 0.1, 1.4, 2.37%, and so on and so forth. So you can see that this expert advisor has been going, he's got other years here, but it's not showing any data, that it's been going well for the last 2 years. But the gains have been pretty low. Now it looks like his gains are a little higher on the Signal Start page. It's probably to attract more Signal followers. But still, it looks like it's been a little slightly higher. This is a safer type of retail expert advisor. Anything that shoots for 1 to 3% per month, that's a retail EA, is a much safer investment, and something that should be looked at more seriously. I know that 1 to 3% per month doesn't seem that great, and most individual traders are looking for, or most retail traders are looking for much more. But real trading is about making lower gains each month. And on my 50 to 1 leverage accounts, I only make 3 to maybe 5% per month. And I've even considered pushing that down to 1.5 to 3%, just to make things even safer. Now on my personal account, I have pushed the lot size and the risk higher, but I'm also considering bringing that down. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, but the safer thing to do is to lower my risk, and I'd still be getting 10 to 15% per month, which is very adequate for an account of this size. So I know that you guys try to find retail expert advisors out there, and so that's why I'm sharing this video today, because to try to educate you a little bit on the expert advisor world when it comes to the retail space. It's hard to know which ones are real, which ones are fake, which ones that you should buy or try at least. Sorry, that's my FX book going in the background. And so that's why I think that at least these ones should be looked at a little bit. And again, I'm not affiliated in any way with these expert advisors. I don't know how long those things are going to go off for, but maybe I should just end my video. I think I will. But good luck with your search for expert advisors, And I hope this video was helpful to you today, and maybe gives you an idea of what you should be looking for in a retail EA if that's the route that you want to go. Or you could buy a retail EA, see how it works, and try to figure out how the strategy is implemented and works, and then build your own and just try to gather a bunch of ideas to make and create a new strategy for yourself, or a better one. So with that, I leave tomorrow. Actually today I go out of town, and I won't be back until the 19th. So I will probably have another update on the 20th, and so I won't see you guys until then. And I wish you a good rest of the week and hopefully some good profit. Have a good day. Bye.